YouTube boxing is finally dead, and let me tell you why. There's one man to blame, and you guys are gonna like it because it's the originator, KSI. He's a scrub, he's a bum, he's a hypocrite. Everything underneath, that's what KSI is. And you know, I don't really get mad. You know, give me those hate comments from the KSI fans, but you guys can't ignore it no more. There's one reason why he's causing this, and I'm gonna explain why. But first, fight fans, make sure you hit the subscribe button to clock in, and let's get ready to talk about some YouTube boxing.
The one, the only, the notorious!
So it started with the Misfits event. KSI brings out Wayne Bridge after making fun of Jake Paul for calling him that he fights plumbers, retired MMA fighters, retired wrestlers. He has the audacity to whip out a soccer player that nobody knows about. You know, I'm not from the UK, I don't watch soccer, so I don't know about him. His name is Wayne Bridge. And, you know, I guess right there they start talking the smack talk. And what happened is, like, I guess his wife cheated on him with some guy, and KSI brought that up. And he really isn't in this space where he enjoys the trash talk. So he did pull out of the fight, and he said that the disrespect to his family was too much, and he didn't want to go through that for the next 6 months with KSI. So guess what he did? He pulled out, man. As a man myself that I feel like I wouldn't really play with, like, YouTube drama, if someone's coming at my wife, bro, or any personal business that is involved in anyone's life, right, you're gonna get snuck. And it's crazy because that guy did not do anything to KSI. I would have straight sucker punched in front of his fans, but that's just me. I wouldn't take that level of disrespect. So after all that, he pulls out, man, and everybody says KSI doesn't have an opponent. KSI just talking trash about Jake Paul. And, you know, I kind of feel bad for a little bit because his life begins to crumble. And depression sets in, and he announces a fight. And it is freaking DILLON, the guy who got pieced up by Logan Paul. By the way, Logan Paul, you're trash. You couldn't knock out that guy. DILLON has to stay stand-up game as a fucking dog, bro. But guys, in DILLON last fight, we saw zero skills to box. He also, you know, I don't know, he showed some of his jiu-jitsu, just completely looked trash, man. I know DILLON isn't a trash jiu-jitsu fighter, but when he tried to take out Logan Paul, he just looked silly, man. I think Logan Paul ended with a little ground and pound shot. Pause on that one real quick. But it was a disgrace to the sport, man. DILLON, I'm just surprised, you know, to even let him have another paycheck is absurd. I think, you know, even as little respect I have for KSI for being a hypocrite, I do feel like, you know, he is above, you know, way above DILLON, and there's no reason they should even share the ring together. And before everybody says KSI needs to build up a fight, KSI needs a tuna fight, guys, KSI has at least 6 tuna fights since he came back from the Logan Paul fight. The most impressive KSI we've seen is against Logan Paul. And I know he lost to Tommy Fury, which is, you know, a pretty good fight, pretty good fighter in, you know, YouTube standards. You know, he's actually dog water when it comes to any amateurs. I think he took like a 2-year hiatus, man. But with that being said, man, I'm tired of these tune-up fights. I don't even appreciate DILLON, man. If he beats DILLON, I want to see him go straight into something big. I want to see Darren Till. I do not want to see anybody on the DILLON. I don't want to see anybody on the Joe Fournier. I don't want to see anybody on the Swarms or Luis Pineda, right? Those guys are literally dog water. If you put me in a 2-week boxing camp, I'm knocking those guys out easy. If we're gonna see, and I'm gonna say it, and it's freaking crazy. I don't want to see the Tommy Fury rematch if this is what happens after DILLON fight, because that fight was absolutely a snooze fest. I'd rather watch 2 dogs making love than have to sit 45 minutes and watch that fight and disrespect my eyeballs ever again. And I mean this with the most disrespect. KSI and Tommy Fury put on an absolute stinker of a performance. And in a recent interview, KSI said that he was not 100% in YouTube boxing, and that Jake Paul's 100%, and that he has other things going like his music, sideman. And yes, I'm not gonna knock the man's hustle. Bro is absolutely rich. Bro has so many hustles that is making him millions of dollars. But you can't call for these big fights and say you're not 100% into it. That Darren Till fight, you said you wanted to put a rehydration clause on him, man. Oh, KSI wouldn't have done that. He fought Logan Paul with no rehydration clause. Tommy Fury with no rehydration clause. If you're really as good as you say, I would honestly take the fight. But that's something where I don't even think Michael Venom Page would take that fight. I think Darren Till sleeps Michael Venom Page in a boxing match, and I'm dead serious about that. I think this needs to be such a tune-up fight. KSI needs to knock out Darren Till in 1 or 2 rounds. I'm being dead serious. If he doesn't knock out DILLON in 2 rounds, this is a complete failure of YouTube boxing, man. If, oh my god, I could imagine if he goes all, I think 8 rounds is what it's gonna be, little baby 8 rounds. If he goes all 8 rounds with Dillon Danis, his boxing career is over. I'm not even joking. Dillon Danis is that bad. But, you know, I do give him credit that might be not hard to knock him out. Bro has a giant boulder for a head, which it's going to be hard to do so. But KSI, you got to knock him out. You got to knock him out, man. You got to show that there's levels. And again, you're a level above these guys. Stop showing that you're fighting these guys. Slim, Gibb, they're not even on the level of these fighters, man. Like, Luis Pineda, they would sleep a lot of these guys that you're fighting, and you claim to be the best. That's the reason that I'm bugged so much, because there's people on your promotion that would absolutely annihilate, baptize your competition. Guys, I think that the biggest boxing match after Dillon Danis we could make right now is Darren Till. That would be a competitive fight. You know, you need something that's gonna wake you up and it's gonna scare the living shit out of you. You need to be at bed and scared that he's gonna knock you up, because that's what brings the beast out of you, man. You're gonna have to train. You're gonna have to work your behind off to get to a level where you can beat him. And Darren Till is huge, man, huge. I think he had a boy 220 against Anthony Taylor. That was such a dominant performance, by the way, by Darren Till, bro. Slept Anthony Taylor, someone who's never been slept in his career before in YouTube boxing, though. The only problem I have is when he's describing why he picked Dillon Danis. He said Tony Ferguson, Cowboy Cerrone, Nate Diaz, and Jorge Masvidal say no. And what bugs me is he's saying that just so they look bad. Tony Ferguson in the GFL. By the way, Tony Ferguson is 40 years old and is on 8-fight losing streak. This man has not won a fight since, I think, 2019. That is insane. The MMA community would be appalled if you fight Tony Ferguson. Bro is trash, man. Not prime Tony Ferguson. We can pray for that guy because I love him. But prime Tony Ferguson was an absolute dog. But, you know, age gets to you, man. And I would not want to see that. Tony Ferguson would lose and he'd get hurt. That's the reason I would not want to see it. At this point, Tony Ferguson, at his age, is like, he needs to protect his brain, like, dead seriously. And then with Cowboy Cerrone, I think he still has UFC contract. So as Jorge, those two fighters, you know they're not going to fight, man. And you just put their names in the video and ask them so they look like they're ducking you. But they're not. They literally can't legally fight you because they're in contract with the UFC still. And then we have, what's his name? Nate Diaz. I don't know why Nate Diaz said no, but I wouldn't really fight Nate Diaz because he already fought Jake Paul. And Jake Paul used Nate Diaz as a warm-up fight, man. And if you fought Nate Diaz, that'd be a pretty big fight, but that would be like a challenge to you, man. And I don't want to see that, you know? I don't want to see someone's warm-up fight be the test that makes you look that you're on this another level. That would just look bad. All I want to see at the end of the day is Jake Paul and KSI get in the ring together and settle who's the best YouTube boxer. I do think Jake Paul is on another level by a lot. Like, another level. The fighters he's fighting is not comparable to the fighters KSI is fighting. And I think a lot of people are starting to see that now with KSI's, like, his actions that he's doing and he's speaking, like the hypocrisy that he's given. But you know, we might not never see the Jake Paul and KSI fight. Let me know what you guys see in the comment section down below. If we'll ever get that fight, or are we just making these videos as like a time saver, man? Because I don't think it's gonna happen. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys see in the comment section down below. Also, guys, the heavyweight division is slowing down. Tom Aspinall is basically the champ. John Jones holding the belt hostage. We made a video about that. Make sure to click the link in the description below and make sure to check that video out. Also, fight fans, I know I haven't said this in a while, but make sure to uppercut that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.